Yo, what is going up everybody? Shri Kanase here and welcome back to the best Shopify YouTube channel out there. In this video, we're going to be talking about dropshipping or branding. Now, this has been a famous topic recently because a lot of people are using the term branding very vaguely and they're trying to sound as if they're branding themselves. But is branding really that easy? But we're going to be comparing dropshipping versus branding and going over exactly who should be doing one and who should be doing the either, and my final thoughts and verdict on exactly whether you should personally be branding or dropshipping instead. So stick till the end of this video. But if this is the first time you're even watching one of my videos, pause this video for 2 seconds and smash that subscribe button down below. You're only gonna stay up to date with all of the good content I post on a weekly basis to take your dropshipping or branding experience to the next level. And speaking of dropshipping versus branding, let's just jump right into the video. Let's start off with dropshipping because that is the most popular venture that a lot of people get into usually, but I'm going to be explaining both the pros and cons for dropshipping. So let's go ahead and start off with the pros. What are exactly the pros for dropshipping and exactly how is it much better in a general sense? Well, the first pro that comes to mind is that dropshipping is literally the easiest way to get introduced to business in general. I'm gonna be honest, before I even started dropshipping, I had literally zero knowledge about business. I had just heard the term business, but I didn't know what a businessman did, how their day looked like, what kind of deals they did, what kind of money they made, etc. I was too engulfed in the job mentality that my parents continuously put into my head. But after starting dropshipping, I was literally exposed to so many different things that a businessman has to go through, whether it be mindset, to handling money, to doing expenses, to earning money. And I don't think any other business out there provides such an easy way to learn about business without spending as much money than dropshipping does. So no doubt, in my opinion, dropshipping is the easiest way for a beginner to get introduced to a business in general, and it is also a really good source of income for a lot of professionals in the field as well. Which brings me to my next point about cash flow. With the dropshipping, it is really easy to start getting the cash flow coming in. I know a lot of people are unprofitable with dropshipping, but there are usually main key reasons as to why they're unprofitable in the first place, and they're not that hard to fix. But once you do fix them, it is not hard to become profitable and have some sort of cash flow coming in. And with dropshipping, you can use that cash flow to start your own brand, because with branding, you're gonna need a lot of cash. But let's keep this discussion regarding dropshipping for now. We're gonna talk about branding really soon. But the third thing that is really good about dropshipping, and what I consider a pro, is that dropshipping has a lot of ease of entry. Literally, a small child, if they know how to use a computer, can start dropshipping from the comfort of their home. There's no sort of big barrier which stops you from dropshipping over somebody else, unless you live in third world country or you live in a country where access to a payment gateway is difficult. Otherwise, dropshipping is literally easy to do and you can start a dropshipping store right from your home. So there is a lot of ease of entry and access. In addition to ease of entry, there's very less capital required for dropshipping. Usually nowadays, I recommend having around $1,000 or more with dropshipping, but if you think about it, starting a business for $1,000 is actually a discount. A lot of these brick and mortar stores or restaurants or brands require thousands and thousands of dollars just to begin, and that is without having any sort of guarantee for returns or result. As you can see, that is much more riskier in the sense of money, and dropshipping provides much less risk in those terms. And because of the less capital required for dropshipping, you can easily test multiple products on your dropshipping store because you're only going to be shipping out those products after somebody buys from you. So there's a little bit comfort inside your head that's probably going to help you sleep better at night, which is, okay, I don't have any stock pending in my warehouse or in my garage. Like as you can see in my own garage behind me, I only have a car, no other stock. And that is the beauty of dropshipping. You don't have to worry about ordering excessive stock and having to throw away excessive stock or getting rid of it too quickly at a discounted price, because that is not involved with dropshipping. Literally, you're only shipping out items after somebody purchases from you, and there's very little to no investment required from your side besides researching as to whether the supplier himself or herself is worth it or not. And you can find multiple winning products while dropshipping. And the best part about dropshipping is that whatever niche you sell in, whatever products you sell in, can be duplicated and replicated across multiple platforms. Now, what do I mean by multiple platforms? Well, if you have a Shopify store and one product just takes off, goes through the roof, you can easily create an Amazon seller account or an eBay seller account or an Etsy seller account and sell that same exact product on those websites. And best part of all, you don't even have to run ads for those websites. You can literally just have the organic traffic come in and buy that product. And this is very easy to do when you're drop shipping, because you don't necessarily have to pay attention for stock or worry about running out of stock too quickly or any other issues with stock. So as you can see, overall dropshipping has a really small barrier for entry. Literally anybody can do it and there's very little investment required. But with good things come a ton of bad things. Let's go over to cons and see exactly where dropshipping doesn't perform as well. So with cons, the first con is with dropshipping, there can be sudden shortages of stocks, or your product can itself just go out of stock completely forever. I've had to deal with this multiple times in my own dropshipping career. And trust me, it is not an easy thing to deal with, because when you have tons and tons of orders on your Shopify store, you're left scrambling to find stock for that product. And sometimes there's no other supplier selling that product. So you're in a pretty deep hole. However, this problem can easily be solved if you do a little bit extra research from the beginning and don't just rely on one supplier, but be consistently in contact with multiple suppliers. But a lot of beginners don't think that far. You're just happy that you're getting a lot of sales, and in that happiness frenzy, it is easy to forget that these kinds of problems do occur, and with dropshipping, it is very common. Second most common problem with dropshipping is an excessive saturation of similar products. So for example, since summer is coming up when I'm recording this video, there's a lot of people trying to sell summer bathing suits or summer beach accessories, etc. And trust me, you're not the only one selling that on Facebook ads or Google ads. A lot of other people are wanting to sell that same exact thing. So there's easily a lot of saturation with dropshipping for similar products, and that means very little to no profit at all, and you're often left in a loss. And honestly speaking, a lot of the product research methods a lot of these so-called Shopify gurus talk about on their channel are outdated, and everybody has access to them, meaning you're just competing with each other. So that's not a good way to go. And with dropshipping, there is definitely a lot of saturation because of that. In addition, there's a lot of difficulty competing with the wholesalers, meaning people who wholesale a lot of products and bulk buy those products and sell on eBay, Amazon, etc. Product you're selling for $30 can easily be sold by a wholesaler for $20 just because they source a lot of those similar products at one time and they get a lot of discounts because of that. So often you're left dealing with these lower prices and you're not getting as many sales because of that. And the biggest problem with these products is that they go out of demand really quickly. 1 month you could be just booming through making 6 figures per month, and the next month you have $0 in sales because that product just died out and the wholesalers are taking over the market. Which brings me to my next point, which is there's really a lot of lack of community with the drop shipping. Now, this is not always true if you consistently send out quality emails, not just emails to sell your products, but to rather connect with the audience. You're trying your best to build a blog around your website, getting those professional photos on your website, making your shipping faster, etc. Then that's a different story. But when you use the term drop shipping, you're kind of just having a lack of community. People usually just come on your store for one time, buy the product, go, and never come back again. And that is exactly how drop shipping works. So there's no real community when it comes to drop shipping. And in addition, there's often a lack of quality for the products because they're getting shipped from these Chinese warehouses. And the only way these warehouse people are going to make a profit is if they kind of use less quality material. So it is your responsibility to make sure that the quality of the products is high quality. But that is one con when it comes to drop shipping. So overall, drop shipping does have a lot of pros and cons. But now let's move on to branding. What are the pros and cons of branding? And let's start off with the pros. So when it comes to the pros of branding, first big pro is that there's a long-lasting community with the brand. It is not just something you're gonna build one time and people are just gonna buy from you one time and never be seen again on your website. They're gonna continuously come over to your website over and over and over again to the point where you actually start remembering their names. And that is the power of a brand. You're building a family or a community around your products and niche. Because of this community, you get access to long lifetime cash flow. Cash flow is gonna fluctuate every single month, but that does not mean that you're gonna have to worry about selling your dropshipping store or brand store or think about starting a new one, because with a brand you're still gonna have a few sales coming in every single day, even when it is off season for you. And that is the beauty about branding, because people are gonna remember your name and they're gonna have it at the back of their mind. And a lot of people don't think about this, but because of the brand you're building, you're actually leaving behind a legacy. Think about what you're going to be remembered for. Let's look at the bigger examples. Steve Jobs and Apple. Steve Jobs is long gone, but people still remember him because of the brand he built, which is Apple. And he's going to be remembered for years and years to come just because of the good brand that he built, no matter how many years he has been gone. So that is the kind of impact you leave on the world when you build a brand. And I know you may not be thinking that far ahead, but leaving a legacy does relate directly to the cash flow that you get. And because of this legacy, you're gonna have repeat customers over and over again, as mentioned, and there's going to be some sort of consistency. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're running a branded niche store, you're going to have months where it's kind of low season for you. You're not getting as many sales, and that's completely fine and normal. But it's not going to be like a dropshipping store where you're getting $0 in sales every single day for the rest of the year and the years to come. People are still going to remember your store with the brand, and they're not going to forget you. So there's going to be some sort of consistent going on. But even with the brand, there are some cons. And the first con when it comes to branding is that there's a little bit higher capital required. As I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this video, you're going to need a couple $1,000s to establish a strong brand because you're going to be running Instagram influencer ads, Facebook ads, email marketing campaigns, and you're going to be trying to diversify as much as you can because you want people to know about your brand all over the spectrum. So of course, when there's a lot of diversity involved, there's a lot of cash flow going out and a lot of money invested. In addition to higher capital, you're going to have problems with stock, because you're going to have to start importing products to your warehouse or your garage. You're going to start providing faster shipping times because you're running an actual brand. And when shipping is fast, people like to come over and over again to buy from you. But this also means that you run into a lot of stock issues. So this is where you're going to start having capital problems. This is going to also lead to overhead costs because as you start building your brand, you're going to have more employees working for you and you're going to have more money going out to them as paychecks. So as money comes in, more of it is starting to go out, but that is very common with branding. But the biggest thing that is a con with branding is that it is time consuming. Think of building a brand as taking care of a baby. A newborn baby. When a baby is newborn, you have to spend years and years taking care of it, making sure it knows how to feed itself, how to clean its own poop, how to dress itself, etc. And that takes a couple of years to really train the baby. But once it is trained, it starts to function on its own, and that's when you can take a step back and relax. And that is exactly what branding is. You're gonna have to think of it as your own baby, and you're gonna have to put a lot of time, money, energy, and effort into it. But those were the general pros and cons of branding and dropshipping, and let's go on to the final verdict. The final verdict, and this is in my own opinion, is everybody that is just starting out with online businesses should definitely consider dropshipping first, or even those people who are professional should consider having a dropshipping store first. And the main reason behind this is dropshipping is a really great cash flow source to get money coming in and having that cash to reinvest into your brand that you start building. So think of dropshipping as your job. A lot of people work their daytime jobs or nighttime jobs just to fund their business ideas. That is the same with the dropshipping. You're gonna run a dropshipping store, and if possible, you're gonna get to the stage where you outsource it so that it can start giving you money on autopilot and you can invest a large portion of that money into your brand. So it is a double win-win situation for you. Don't think of dropshipping as a job because after all, it is a business which is gonna make you money, but it is going to require an investment in the beginning. But again, to recap, the final verdict is definitely start off with dropshipping as a beginner. Really learn the ideas of dropshipping, the key concepts, so you don't face too much failure. But don't take failure badly because failure is a part of the process. That's how you learn. And take the ideas that you learned from failure to implement into a brand. But hopefully this video was helpful for you, and if it was, let me know down in the comment section what you're doing to implement these strategies into your own business, and I'll see you guys next time.